Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into a field that's, well, it's kind of the backbone of our digital world, but most people don't even think about it.
Yeah, communication infrastructure.
Yeah,
Kind of low-key, but essential, right?
totally. And we love to dig into this stuff. Thankfully, you listeners send over some great info from RoleCatcher, that career platform.
Their guides are really useful. Lots of good insights there.
Okay, so let's break it down. When someone says communication infrastructure maintainer, what does that even mean? It's more than just like fixing Wi-Fi when it goes out.
Way more. Think of it this way. They're the ones who build and fix the networks that let us do, well, basically everything online.
Emails, streaming, all that.
Exactly. Installing cables, setting up software, security stuff. It's a huge responsibility.
So you need to be pretty tech savvy, I'm guessing.
For sure. You might be out on a cell tower one day, then in a data center the next, dealing with both hardware and software.
Wow, that's a lot of variety. So not a desk job then.
Definitely not. You need to be comfortable in all sorts of environments and be able to communicate complex stuff clearly, whether you're talking to a tech team or a client who has no clue about the technical stuff.
Right, like explaining why the internet's down in a way that even I could understand.
Exactly. Patience is key.
So we're getting a good picture of what they do, but why is this career path blowing up right now?
Well, our world runs on being connected, and that's only increasing, right? Businesses, the Internet of Things, 5G, it all needs people who can keep the data flowing.
So the demand is huge.
Huge, and it pays well too. But it's not just about the money, it's about being part of something crucial.
I feel like a lot of people listening are probably interested, but wondering if they have what it takes. Do you need to be some kind of tech genius?
Passion helps, but it's more about the right skills, both the hard skills and those soft skills we mentioned.
Break that down for us, starting with the tech stuff.
Well, you need to know how networks actually work. The physical stuff, like fiber optic cables, those transmit data with light crazy fast. And the software side, how computers talk to each other.
So it's about understanding the why behind it all, not just plugging things in.
Yeah, it's about the whole system. And getting certified helps a lot, like the Cisco CCNA. It shows employers you know your stuff.
Like a tech diploma.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, is a 4-year degree the only way in?
It helps, but it's not the be-all, end-all. Those certifications carry a lot of weight, and real-world experience is gold.
So internships, even just volunteering to help someone set up their home network.
Exactly. Showing initiative and that you're actually interested goes a long way. Plus, you never know what connections you'll make.
That's great advice. So let's say someone's landed that entry-level job. What's next? Where can this field take them?
That's where those RoleCatcher guides get really interesting. They map out a whole career path, from technician to senior roles and beyond.
Perfect. Let's dig into that ladder and see what it takes to climb to the top. Okay, so you've got the skills, you're ready to make your move, but how do you actually land that dream job in communication infrastructure?
Well, it all comes down to nailing that interview.
Right, the make or break moment.
And that's where those RoleCatcher guides really come in handy. They don't just tell you what the job's about, but they give you a peek behind the curtain, you know.
Like, what are hiring managers really looking for?
Exactly. They stress the importance of showcasing your experience with real examples. Like, anyone can say they're familiar with fiber optics. But can you talk about a time you had to troubleshoot a tricky connection? What did you actually do, step by step?
So it's not just about listing skills, it's about showing how you've used them.
Right. And don't be afraid to geek out a little. If you've been experimenting with setting up a home network or learned a new protocol, mention it. It shows genuine passion.
Passion over perfection.
Exactly. Enthusiasm goes a long way. And of course, remember those soft skills. Being able to explain something technical to someone who's clueless, that's huge.
Yeah, because even if you're a tech whiz, if you can't communicate clearly, it's a problem.
Big time. Think about a time you had to do that. Explain something complex in a way anyone could understand. What was your strategy?
It's like, how do you bridge that gap between tech jargon and plain English?
Exactly. And don't forget to ask good questions at the end. It shows you're curious and thinking ahead.
It's your chance to interview them too, right? Make sure it's the right fit for you.
Totally. Ask about the company culture, the projects you'd be working on, all that good stuff. And hey, practice makes perfect. RoleCatcher even has those AI interview tools.
Oh yeah, those are cool, like having a personal coach to help you prep.
For sure. Okay, so you aced the interview, got the job, congratulations, but it doesn't end there, does it?
Definitely not. Tech changes so fast. How do you keep up in the world of communication infrastructure?
Constant learning is key, like software-defined networking SDN that's changing how networks are managed. You got to stay on top of these trends.
It's like the learning never stops.
Pretty much. And those RoleCatcher guides, they outline the whole career path, from entry level all the way to senior positions. Each step requires new skills, more responsibility.
So let's break those stages down a bit. Say you land that entry-level tech job. What's that actually like day to day?
You're like an apprentice, learning the ropes, lots of hands-on stuff, assisting senior techs, installing cables, that kind of thing.
Getting your hands dirty, literally.
Exactly. Then, as you gain experience, you move up, maybe start leading installations yourself, and that's where those certifications come in, those advanced ones like the CCNP.
Like a badge of honor showing you've leveled up.
Exactly. Shows you're serious about your career. And then those senior roles, that's where it gets really interesting.
What does a senior technician actually do?
They're the ones with a big picture view, designing network architecture, managing teams, tackling those super complex problems.
So not only the technical stuff, but leadership skills too.
Absolutely. You're mentoring junior team members, explaining things to non-tech people, making sure projects stay on track.
That's a lot of responsibility. But it sounds like there's also a lot of room to grow, maybe even specialize.
Totally. You could focus on cybersecurity, wireless tech, cloud computing, even move into management or consulting.
So you can kind of tailor your career to what you're passionate about.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Technology keeps evolving at a crazy pace. We're seeing AI and automation popping up everywhere, even in the hiring process itself.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other conversation. How do you even stand out when robots are filtering your resume?
That's the million-dollar question, and luckily, we've got time to dig into it.
All right, so before the break, we were talking about AI and automation sneaking into, well, basically everything. It's kind of freaky to think about robots deciding who gets a job, right?
Yeah, it's a big change, but it's not all doom and gloom. Think of it this way. Remember those crazy network diagrams? AI can analyze those in seconds, spot issues a human might miss.
So it's more like AI as a helper, not a replacement.
Exactly. It frees up humans to do the more complex strategic stuff. And this is happening with hiring too, those applicant tracking systems, or ATS. They're powered by AI, scanning resumes for keywords, skills that match the job.
So your resume's got to be written for a robot audience now, too.
In a way, yeah. You got to be specific, use the lingo for the job description, show results, not just list skills.
Like your resume needs to have its own digital outfit to get noticed.
I like that. But don't worry, it's not all about pleasing the robots. Those soft skills, communication, problem solving, those still matter hugely.
So it's about finding that balance, right? Tech skills plus that human touch.
Exactly. And that's where RoleCatcher comes in again. They help you tweak your resume for the AI, but also identify those skills that make you stand out as a person.
Like having a career coach who speaks both robot and human.
That's it. They get what employers are looking for in this crazy, fast-changing world.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into communication infrastructure, what's the biggest takeaway for our listeners?
Never stop learning. The tech changes constantly, so you got to be curious, try new things, always be upgrading your skills.
It's like the learning curve never flattens out, does it?
Nope. But that's part of what makes it exciting. Embrace the challenge, build your network, and you'll go far.
Great advice. So to sum it up, master the tech, hone those people skills, and always be ready to learn something new.
Nailed it. Do that, and you're set for a killer career in communication infrastructure.
And on that note, we're out of here. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time for more career adventures.